myself the luckiest man on the face of the earth.
Ends his final game with a walk-off single.
Here's a drive to left. That one is long gone.
Welcome to the Long Gone Podcast. This is me, Michael, and with me as always, S-Man.
What up?
Steve Ford.
How's it going, man?
Trying to figure out that song.
That's a little when in doubt, Elvis it out, my man. It's one of his 70s ballads called The Sound of Your Cry.
Sound of a cry.
That's good. I
That was
love
going to be, Fifo Goes West.
Oh,
No,
God, somewhere.
dreams.
Oh, God, no. I did not do that.
You know,
But it's time.
it's time.
The WBC is over. Felt like it just started, right? But 2.5 weeks of fun has come to an end, and we move back to spring training with regular season on the horizon.
Training. Listen, I'm not a betting man, but you are, and you went on Lucky Rebel and thought,
Oh,
wow, I thought the USA was going to win this motherfucker.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, guess
You'd be
what?
dead wrong.
You'd be dead wrong. Keep polishing that turd. Our little prediction where we poked fun at the U.S.'s roster is making ourselves look better and better, huh? Because these last two games, man, I'm telling you, they snuck past the Dominicans, by the skin of their teeth there, and then they just did not rise to the challenge against Venezuela. I mean, outplayed, outpitched, out-executed. It was absolutely pathetic, I'm telling you.
Well, just like you said in your song, with the sound of your cries, there was a lot of tears within Venezuela, right? I mean, I saw Miguel Cabrera. He was crying. He was tearing up. I mean, it's a big moment for them, and it would have been a big moment for the USA as well.
Oh, for sure.
But looking at what Venezuela squad put out there, I mean, God, they're hitting coaches Miguel Cabrera. I mean, they had really good coaches, like former players as coaches, right? And then the players themselves were amazing, led by Salvador Perez and gang, and they looked really good, and they wanted it so bad. I gotta say, Steve, I don't think the USA wanted it bad enough.
I don't think they did either, and I think it showed by the fact that Tarek Skubal was there in uniform, but not actually fucking pitching. Had his little short outing where he pulled himself out, and and then went back to Tiger Town after that, and then came back as a cheerleader. If you're not going to be there to play, stay fucking home, all right?
Yeah, dude, we don't want you as a fucking cheerleader.
Like, what are you going to do just sitting there, rah, rah, rah? You want to get some pom-poms out? Yeah.
And meanwhile, Garrett fucking Whitlock's getting rocked, and he sat there. If I was Scuba, I'd tear off my fucking warmer and be like,
say, all right, put me in.
Like a WWE moment, like, he tears it off. He starts walking up there. But he's like, "Oh my God, he's coming in!
He's coming in! Yeah, I hear you.
He's gonna save the day." And no, instead we got to watch Garrett Whitlock just explode, just implode on himself.
Yeah, when I saw a game on the line in the ninth inning, coming back from break, and they say, "And Garrett Whitlock's in the game," I'm like, "All right, so championship's on the line, and we're going to Whitlock." All right,
yeah, that's what I mean. I don't think they wanted it as much, because the best of the best play, right? And you get the best of the best in that squad. I'm not going to sit here and act like I've dug into all the WBC stuff and I know what the talks behind closed doors were. I don't. I don't understand why Garrett Crochet wasn't on this roster. I don't understand why Corbin Carroll wasn't on this roster. I don't understand why some of your better players in America weren't on this roster, especially when it comes to pitching, Steve. I mean, they just activated Will Vest to the roster, a few days ago?
Will Vest,
and I'm sorry, why wasn't he closing? Why wasn't he out there in the final? He's a guy that puts games away. Right, so
who's managing this? Mark DeRosa or AJ Hinch? Come on, get your head out of your ass. All right, Will Vest in the eighth inning. Yeah, that works. All right.
Yeah, come on, man. I just, Steve, I don't get it. I thought the USA didn't want it bad enough, especially when I'm not saying the guys who are on the team. I'm saying USA in general, whoever put the squad together. just the want, right? And I know it sucks because, and then you hear those talks, right? You hear those talks like, well, maybe we should move WBC to the middle of the season. And you know what? I think that's a great move, just like they did with hockey in the
Do
Olympics
what
and
they did
hockey
with
with the Six Nations
Give them
or
a
Four
2-week
Nations,
break
Six
or
Nations,
whatever. Yeah.
or Eight Nations. I can't remember what it was.
Yep.
Why not do it with baseball, right?
Yeah, no, I
Why
think that's
not?
a great idea. I mean, give them a break. It gives everyone the opportunity to play. Give them like a 2-week break there in the middle of the season. Yeah, okay. You might have to stretch the season longer one way or another, but hell, they're playing into November anyway. Why not just start the season middle of March then or something like that
Right.
on WBC
Hell yeah.
years. So I completely agree. Middle of the season and give everyone an opportunity to play.
Yeah.
And give everyone the best chance to put their best team out there.
Yeah,
I think
because I
that's a
really
great
think
idea.
that the biggest problem was it's just so close to the season. I mean, that's
Yep.
why Tarek Skubal was teetering. And I mean, on a money standpoint, like I said in we were interviewing somebody, I think we were interviewing Booney yesterday, and from the A's podcast there. And, he was asking us our thoughts on it. And like, yeah, I mean, I think Tarek Skubal's selfish. I think, you
Mhm.
were around the same lines, but we both agree when you don't mess with somebody's money. I mean, he's in
Nope.
a contract here. It's a big year for him. So you
Yep.
understand it financially, but as a patriot, as of wanting to do what's best for your country, as being a team
Mhm.
player, team first is totally out the window with guys like that.
Yep. Yep.
You know,
Yeah, completely agree. Like you
you
said,
know,
especially on contract years, you're gonna wanna go in, you're gonna wanna get your, you're gonna wanna get your bag, and this is the time for him to get his bag. So, as much as he'd love to be the Patriot and go for it for USA, he's gotta look out for a number one, which is himself and his family and, his family's future, and that in terms
absolutely.
is getting paid, you know?
And that's you said it. You said it perfectly. And you can't blame a man for doing that. It's just
Yep.
you and me as fans and the rest of
Right.
America who are fans. It's it's a bummer because people are doing two things today. They're
Yep.
critiquing Paul Skeens. They're saying, "What an idiot! Why would you throw that much? Why would you jeopardize yourself?
Yep.
Why would you say?" Remember Mike Valenti on 97.1 The Ticket. He was saying, "You're an idiot. You're doing it for the military, dude." He was like, "That's stupid. You're being stupid." No, I think that's a great sign of a great teammate. But
Mhm.
but you can see the other side of that. Like, dude, you're looking for like the biggest payday of any pitcher
That's
in the
right.
next couple of years.
Yep.
Where Tarek Skubal, you're looking at the biggest payday for any pitcher right now.
Right now.
So,
Yep.
like you just said, like you're looking out for yourself, for yourself and your family, and you cannot. I mean, I totally get that. But
Nope.
as fans, it's like, where's that team first mentality?
Yep.
You
Yep.
know?
Where's that red, white, and blue? Where's that what Bryce Harper was doing, pointing at the flag when rounding the bases right there? Where's that patriotism that
Yeah, bro.
that's what people are looking for.
You're exactly right, and
Yep.
I think people are comparing them to what hockey did in the Olympics.
Yep.
And I mean, those guys were team first. Those guys were all in. They didn't get
Yep.
paid. I mean, you see
Nope.
kind of the payout of the pool because Venezuela they won. They got to split like $3 million. And
Yeah.
most of those guys are like, give it to the guys who don't make any money. Give it to that
Right.
Machado guy. I can't remember
Yep.
his name, but he was like the pitcher who did pretty well, but he got
Yep.
rocked. Bryce Harper rocked him. But
Yep.
aside from that, had a pretty good outing. I mean, they're
Mhm.
going to give it to guys who deserve the money.
Yeah, yeah, not the Acuna doesn't want it or, players like that who are already making,
Yeah, Sal
decent
Perez
money. Yeah,
and
Sal Perez, they don't need the money. Give
no,
it to those, split it with the lesser known ones. They're going to go back to lifetime in the minor leagues trying to, make it work. So,
right,
let
right. I mean,
those guys have that money.
Miguel Cabrera, the hitting coach, doesn't need the money. Their pitching
No.
coach, when I saw Johan Santana out there,
Santana, I know.
I was laying on the couch and my dad was in the chair. And all of a sudden I saw Johan Santana walk out and I like raise up like a dead body. I'm like, is that Johan Santana?
That was like me the other night watching the first four in, and I was like, is that Trey Holloman for NC State?
Yeah.
Former Spartan Trey Holloman?
And you look at
Yeah, when I saw Johan Santana, I was like, man, they got a hell of a staff here, man. A hell of a coaching staff. You have Miguel Cabrera as your hitting coach, probably one of the greatest hitters in our generation, if not, up there top 10 all time. And then you got Johan Santana, 2-time Cy Young Award winner, coming out there to be your pitching coach. Fuck, man, yeah.
I mean, who would you
But
rather?
hey, we got D-Row. We had D-Row.
Yeah. Well, who would you rather take advice from hitting, D-Row or Miguel?
Or Miguel
Completely
Cabrera.
Miguel Cabrera. And the thing is, Venezuela hit very good in WBC, which might spark some like, hey, maybe Miguel should take up coaching, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
Take him on
players look
Tiger
up to him,
staff, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I think this was really fun for him. So if to him it wasn't a job, I mean, you saw how much it meant to him. I mean, like, I love that. Like, okay, Venezuela won, and you saw how much it meant to them. The tears in their eyes. I mean, to them, this was like their World Series. I fucking loved it, and I wish we had that for the USA with this, but it just wasn't the same. And you just seen it, and you seen the want from Judge, you seen the want from Harper, even though Harper hit like dog shit in WBC.
Yeah, till that home run.
Till that home run.
I mean, fucking, you take that home run away. They had the U.S. had what 3 singles the entire game.
Yeah,
you know, you're talking about, we talked about how the pitching was going to be like their Achilles going in here, and their pitching's what kept them in the game, and their fucking offense was a limp dick the entire game, the last 2 games, against the Dominican, and then especially against Venezuela, they got exploited there. You got a lineup chock full of all-stars there. It's not like we're toting out lifers from the minor leagues. You got Aaron Judge out there, Schwarber, PCA. You even had Cal Raleigh on the bench,
Bobby
Will
Witt.
Smith, Bobby Witt. You had fantastic hitters there, and they make them look like dog shit. I mean, Aaron Judge struck out 3 times. I think he had the hat trick in the last game there. Jesus,
he really did, bro. I still don't understand why they didn't start Gunnar Henderson. I mean, he ended up going in, but
I know. Yeah.
There
were a couple of scratcher moves there. I mean, you had a 60 home run guy on the bench in Cal Raleigh, and he didn't even start the last 2 games.
All it was analytics and lefty righty bullshit, and I fucking hate that, dude. Hitters hit. That's end of story.
Yep.
And
D-Row took a page out of the AJ Hinch analytics book. And was like, well, if I look at the matchups here, I think it's best for me to start Will Smith in this situation. And Alex Bregman, guy had no point in being on the field there. I mean, the guy played like shit the entire WBC. I saw fucking Byron Buxton starting too. I'm like, what the fuck's this guy doing out here too? The guy's had like 2 hits the whole WBC. Like, what the hell are you doing?
When they announced his name in the beginning, I'm like, oh yeah, Buxton's on this team. I forgot.
Yeah. Like, what the fuck's he doing out here?
It was dumb, dude. And then when the game's on the line, Roman Anthony's the final out. Like
the final out.
I don't know, man. I just hated it. I hated it for America, but I'm very happy for Venezuela.
Me too.
And at the end of the day, one squad wanted it more than the other. I really would. I think you texted me. Should we be like, you talked about D-Row, like managing?
Yeah, he's lost it twice now. Run it back the third time's the charm. No, it's time to get someone new in there.
I think I agree with you. I think it's time to dig a little deeper and let's.
The phone ain't ringing for him to get the phone ain't ringing for him to get major league jobs here.
Right,
so that should say something right there, right? The one time we won was 2017, and you remember who managed that year, right?
Roberts.
Now they dusted off Jim Leland out of retirement to have him run the show.
Okay, and that's when they won it.
And that's when they won it. Yeah.
Hey, I'm all
do it again. Do it again with one of those older guys. It seems like the young players seem to respect those guys.
I'm
and they judge and they manage based on gut, not on analytics.
Yep.
Put the best players out there.
I'm all for a fiery manager. Hell, put Dusty Baker. Dusty Baker should have been doing this one.
Well, he was in there for, I think he managed Nicaragua. Yeah. I mean, hell, they should have had him manage the U.S.
Yeah, something. I mean, something better. I mean, nothing is D-Row. I like D-Row, but D-Row seems like he's everybody's best friend.
Yep.
You're right. Yep. He's like a Kevin Millar. Like, everybody loves him, but you need those guys that are a little fiery. I mean, Jim Leland, when he managed the Tigers and Pittsburgh and Florida, blah, 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 he was always like fighting with his players. Like, he would tell them they're pieces of shit.
Like, yeah. Yep.
You're like, that was the worst fucking game I've ever seen.
Yeah. These players played like they were ready to go to Oakland. You know what? We had a game today. They didn't play like we had a game today. They played like shit.
Yeah. That's what I
and
want.
It made them, and the players respect him more because of it, because he was real with them.
Yeah. Seen a lot of games.
Told them what they probably didn't want to hear, but what they needed to hear.
Absolutely, Steve. And we like D-Row. I like D-Row. I know you like D-Row, but when it comes to managing, maybe let's reconsider somebody else. Like,
maybe let's go stay in Studio 42 here.
Right,
just continue to talk the tape. You're good at breaking down tape and shit and hosting a show there. You're really good at this. Managing, I don't think so, man.
Yeah. Let's throw talk about other shit, man. Talk about how they're playing. Talk about fucking odds and Lucky Rebel. Do whatever the fuck you're doing. But at the end of the day, stay away from the manager dugout. All right, stay away from the dugout. We need you elsewhere.
Yep.
So that was great. So now, Steve, we're full nuts into spring training.
It is, cool. We're what, about a week away from the season starting here? I think the 25th is we get things going. 24th, 20th, somewhere around there. Yeah.
We'll do like this is our last then and now.
It's our last then and now.
Then next week is our season prediction show.
Oh boy! All right.
Are you ready to be as wrong as I usually am?
I'm ready every year. This is the same guy who said Lucas Giolito could win the Cy Young our first year doing the show.
Hey, I think you just got Lucas Giolito and Garrett Crochet mixed up.
You know what? You're probably right. I probably just had my blinders on there. I probably had those same glasses that D-Row had on during the game right there, and I just couldn't tell between Lucas Giolito and Garrett Crochet.
Right. Wait. You're like, what's it up?
Like Costanza, I get the squint going there. Yeah, you're spotting dimes or eating onions. What's going on here?
Or that episode in Jerry Seinfeld where he had the big Coke bottle glasses.
Because he wanted to prove to Lloyd Braun that he wasn't crazy.
Is that I wear glasses. Yeah, it's a lot of gum.
It's a lot of gum.
Gave him $100 bill.
Gave him $100 bill. He thought it was a 10. Am I crazy or is that a lot of gum? It's a lot of gum.
Oh, shit. Anyway. Well, I'll say before we hit to then and now where we cover our DHs, how about we hear a word from our sponsor real quick?
Let's do it. Whether you're a casual collector or a seasoned card enthusiast, the Penny Sleever is your one-stop shop for all your card protection needs. They carry everything from classic regular sleeves and versatile top loaders in multiple thicknesses, 35 point, 55 point, 75 point, 100 point, and beyond, to premium magnetic card holders and specially graded card sleeves perfect for PSA and SGC slabs. Need resealable bags, team bags, vintage sleeves, or colored top loaders? They have over 71 products in stock, all priced to help you build and protect your collection without breaking the bank. And now they're offering an exclusive promotion just for you. First-time buyers can get 10% off their entire order with promo code LONGGONE. Just visit thepennysleever.com and use that code at checkout. Don't let your valuable cards go unprotected. Shop the Penny Sleever today and see why collectors trust them with their most prized possessions. The Penny Sleever. Premium protection, penny pinching prices. I'm telling you, man, Penny Sleever is the way to go. I did that break for Stadium Club there a couple weeks ago, and used some of my top loaders there to put some of the decent cards from the collection. But they got everything you need. We're getting ankles deep in the collecting as far as new product coming out from Topps and Fanatics and all that stuff, and just make sure your cards look as good as they can, and Penny Sleever can help you with that. So check them out. They got affordable shipping. Anything between $0 and $59 is a flat $7. Anything over $59, it's free shipping. So very affordable stuff, and good people over there at Penny Sleever.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, he sent us personalized boxes of stuff. Last week I went through my cards and I started putting stuff in the sleeves, and it was awesome. I mean, like I said, I'm a big fan of clean sleeves, and obviously when you get them brand new, they're good, but these are good quality.
They stay clean.
Yeah, with your bumper, your silicone bumpers, your aluminum bumpers. I fucking just love it, man. So
I do too.
We love having them as a sponsor. So go out, and like I said, if you're a shop owner, if you're just a run-of-the-mill collector and you don't want used crappy shit that you find in like hobby stores that that aren't wrapped or whatever, or sometimes they'll have extra stuff there that aren't really good, just go to Penny Sleever because they have great prices.
Yep. Great prices, great product, great people all the way around. So
every time I see every time I see you do your ad for penny sleeve, you're like penny pinching prices.
You like
I
that?
always laugh. I'm always
like
man,
the enunciating right there.
well, to me, because I'm a guy that talks fast, so I slur my words a lot because I get excited too much.
Yep.
But I always wondered, and when editing that, I didn't really look, but did you ever like slip up on the penny pinching prices?
Yes.
But it's like the triple P's right there. No, usually if I get grabble in my mouth when I'm saying like something like that with like 3 P's in a row, I'll stop myself and just be like, blah, 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 let's go again. So
yeah,
the penny pinching probably could have been like my third take by that point. So
you're like at that point, I was just fucking. I was in the zone.
I was like, I was just zoned out, zoned in by that point. So yeah, for sure.
Steve, this is it. We've arrived at our final stop.
This could be like my song where I was talking about the crying right here. We're at our final stop of our then and now as we move on to the DH.
Boy, it's been some memories with this.
It's been a magical run, especially with the '90s. I mean, this is time when both you and I really got into baseball. Was growing up in the '90s. Reminiscing about some of these players. It's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, and you and I had to bite our lip on a lot of cheaters that we have to talk about in these. Mm-hmm. But it's hard. You can't leave them off the list.
Mm-hmm.
You can't leave cheaters off the list because they're part of the game of the '90s. That's just what it was.
Yep.
Steve, take us through the final walk of memory lane in the 1990s with DH. Who's your number 5 for Steve?
Number 5 for me is Julio Franco with that fantastic batting stance. Now that guy managed to even hit, get hits and power himself to a 341 average in 1991 is beyond me because that is one of the craziest stances I've ever seen. Just the way he held it, remind me. Seen a lot of weird stances in the day. Johnny Walkenfuss with his foot in the bucket type stance. But Julio Franco, he managed to the stance was weird, but the stats were not. They were really good stats. I mean, he wasn't, going to garner that much. If you're on Lucky Rebel, he wasn't going to be in those top echelons for MVP. But he'd garner some votes. But looking at Julio Franco, just his plate discipline, the fact that he was a switch hitter, he controlled the strike zone, had high walk totals in the '90s, and was tough on both righties and lefties. He had a nice gap to power approach. He wasn't a guy that was going to get you much power in regards to home runs, but he was going to get you lots of doubles. Had enough home run power to punish any mistakes that came out. But just a very professional hitter. Consistent contact with the ball, and very solid. Like I said, his top season, I would say probably there, 1991 when he batted 341, in 94, that strike shortened season, he did hit 319 and, top 10 in MVP voting. But, one time he did get over the, get to 20 home runs, but he wasn't going to get you that home run power, but he was going to get you 20, 30 plus double power, occasionally got over 200 hits, mostly 150, 160, 170 in hits. He was going to give you that production. So because of that, Julio Franco, he comes in for me at number 5.
Great pick. My number 5, I went with a guy with a cool nickname.
Dope.
Originally, actually, his born name is Charles Theodore Davis.
Oh, he was Chaws? I mean, I think he should have went by Chaws, right?
Charles Theodore Davis, also known as Chili Davis.
Good old Charles Theodore Davis.
Well, Charles.
that southern drawl, Charles.
Jamaican American, which is crazy, right? But when he broke on the scene, he was immediately impactful, right? I mean, he was a guy to start his career with the Giants, and then went to the Angels, had a cup of coffee with the Twins, played with a couple other teams. I think Yankees, I think Royals are on that list. But everybody remembers him from the Angels. And the Angels were really good. And he started, like I said, like the first part of his career with the Giants, and he was good. But then he's like, all right, he must have got mad when the Giants didn't care for his services anymore, because I thought he absolutely took off when he was with the Angels. I mean, in 1988, his first season with them, 93 ribs, 268. And then that was the beginning of a very successful 90s as a player, where he was always good to get you between 60 and 90 RBIs any season, right? And the thing with him was his biggest thing, I always thought, was durability, right? I mean, he was never the healthiest all the time, but he did play over 100 games most seasons. But another thing too is inconsistency, which plagues a lot of people. But he was a guy that could get you, I mean, he had 30 home run power, even though he only touched that mark once, but he had the 20 home run power, and he was a very consistent DH. I mean, he is everything they want as a DH. I think that was the big thing with the Giants, the Giants peddling him, is they couldn't have him as a DH at that time because there wasn't DHs in the National League. But in the American League, they succeeded. So Chili Davis for me, Steve, comes in at number 5.
I like him so much he comes in for me at number 4. And I'd like to correct my Julio Franco. I put my little stat right there. I accidentally said he was a switch hitter. He's not a switch hitter. If he was a switch hitter with that fucking crazy ass stance, that'd be a fantastic look right there. But Chili Davis, though, that guy, like you said, Mike, durability. Once he got to California, really very much extended his career, because then he could just focus just directly on hitting. And when he did that, 150, 160, hits a season there, solid average. Longevity is very, very durable. He wasn't the healthiest, but he's going to get you, over, 120, 130, 140, 150 consistently games a season. So he's out there almost every day. Could get you that 20 home run power. Touches high in 91 of 29, in 97 got 30 home runs. So he can get you that pop in the bat. One time got over 100 RBIs, but could, like you said, Mike, get you that 60, 70, 80, plus RBIs, and, just a great hitter, disciplined hitter, get you the walks, wasn't going to strike out a ton, but just a really solid, quality DH. So Chili Davis, he comes in for me at number 4.
Yep. Gotta love Chili Davis. I mean, just a staple in the 90s. For me, Steven.
I'm going to start calling him Charles, though. Charles
Theodore. Julio Franco, for me, comes in at number 4. You had him at number 5. I mean, this is a guy, when I was graduating high school in 2003, yeah, I'm dating myself. At that point, I didn't think Julio Franco would ever retire.
Yeah, I do. I know. It's like Ricky Henderson.
Yeah, I mean, he very much, I mean, he played until almost 50, I think it was.
Yeah. Yep.
Very much like a Bartolo Colon kind of situation going on there.
Mm-hmm.
But he was just a guy that just loved baseball. He loves baseball. And he started when he was 23. A guy like that you thought would have started when he was at least 20. But he started at 23, and then he just cooked for a while. I mean, his best years were probably with Texas and Cleveland. And then, he had some successful years, I would say, with Atlanta. But Julio Franco was just a kind of a staple in the 90s. I mean, he was that guy, right? Death, taxes, and Julio Franco. It was just it was
so true.
He was always going to be there. And, I thought he was better at the beginning of his career. In the 90s, he was just a staple. But he really epitomized the DH position. He was the guy that you didn't necessarily want in the field, but you definitely needed his bat at the plate. And yeah, he wasn't a guy that wasn't going to get you great home run power, but he could at least get on base. And for a DH, that was just important. So Julio Franco for me, Steve, comes in at number 4.
Nice. Number 3 for me is a guy who liked his share of steroids. And that would be Jose Canseco. We talked about durability with Julio Franco and Chili Davis. Not as much durability with Jose Canseco, especially getting into the 90s. Probably the roids has something to do with that, just a pinch. But you're looking at a DH, and he epitomized what it looked like to be a DH, just because of that raw power, consistently high high home runs. Because of that, he had a buttload of strikeouts, usually a lot, but he had an impact there beyond home runs. He could draw the walks, lots of hard contact. So even if it wasn't going to be for a home run, you get that extra base power. But like I said, the injuries started piling up some. But since he was DH, he didn't have to focus on the field. He could just focus on the hitting, and that kept him around a lot longer. And because of that, continued to pile up the home runs and the RBIs, and who can forget his time in Texas when he had that home run pop over his head and over the fence. But it's because of that, though, obviously, 91, he had 44 home runs, consistently still could get in those 20s and 30s, even as high as he had 46 and 98 for Toronto. Also led the league in walks strikeouts that season. But, as opposed to Chili Davis and Julio Franco, he had that really big pop in his bat to get you the monster home run. So because of that, Jose Canseco, he comes in for me at number 3.
Yeah, number 3 for me as well. Listen, I mean, again, kind of like Julio Franco was very synonymous with the 90s and Chili Davis. Jose Canseco made his name, right, in the 90s. I mean, coming off the Bash Brothers, him, Mark McGwire in the 80s. And then Jose Canseco took off. Really wasn't known worldly or publicly about steroids in baseball until we started getting in the early 2000s or late 90s, where it started becoming, you started hearing it more, right, in small groups, and then it kind of expanded. And then Jose Canseco was like almost the first one outed, and he was the guy that denied it at first and then just embraced it because he made money off it. I mean, he was basically the first rat of baseball. And the thing is, you could tell by his numbers just how lopsided they were, right? I mean, one year the dude's slugging 40-something home runs, the next he gets it cut in half, right, and still played close to the same amount of games. You could just see how lopsided it was. And the dude was huge. I mean, the dude was a monster in the field. And I think that's what made him so crazy. He looked like a superhero at the plate. I mean, he was remember just how big hulking he was. And it was fun. It was, I mean, I'd admit it. He was a fun watch, right? I mean, Jose Canseco in the 90s was absolutely amazing. And I mean, that A's team was phenomenal, right? And, and then he moved on, obviously, to Texas, Boston, and then, a couple more teams after that. But, I mean, Oakland in the 80s was, I mean, that was his team. But, I don't know, Jose Canseco was steady in the 90s. I mean, he was a guy that you, any time, could get that big home run for you. It just sucks the kind of person he was and turned out to be. I don't know what he's like anymore. I don't really follow him much. But he's synonymous with steroids. I mean, you think of steroids, Jose Canseco is the first name you think of. But let's not take away the ability that was on the field, regardless of steroids. I mean, he did put up big numbers, and you got to say it because it's there. So Jose Canseco comes in for me at number 3.
Number 2 for me is a guy who is just a hitting machine. I'll say that. I mean, the guy can hit for consistently high average, and that'd be Edgar Martinez. Arguably could be number 1. I chose a different guy for number 1 just because I like to be different. But two-time batting champion there in the 90s there, 343 average in 1992, 356 average in 1995 there. Could hit all parts of the field. The power came as actually as he got older. It's funny, as he got into his 30s there, then his power started to get into the 20s, even clipping as high as 30 plus near the end of his career. And the RBIs came with that too. But it's a guy who could hit all parts of the field and consistently could get 30, 40, 50 doubles in a season to go along with the home run power. Just a fantastically disciplined hitter, could draw the walks, rarely struck out. I think in his career, he only struck out over 100 times one time, and that was the last year of his career in 2004. I mean, that's crazy, consistently, looking at 1995, the guy, was in 145 games. He only struck out 87 times. So, could draw the walk, could hit all parts of the field, could hit for power, could hit for high average. So Edgar Martinez, he comes in for me at number 2.
Number 2 for me, I took Paul Molitor. He hits those benchmarks Steve and I talk about. He's an over 300 hitter. He has over 3,000 hits. He has the accolades, right? 7-time All-Star, 4-time Silver Slugger, has a World Series MVP, even won a Manager of the Year at one point, believe it or not.
Yeah.
So, he broke in the late 70s, and it's hard to say what his best decade. I would say the best decade was the 80s for Paul Molitor, but, the 90s was very good for him, and that's why he's on my list at number 2. And he's a guy that could get over 200 hits every season.
Yep.
I mean, he's led the league in hits 3 years, right? If you know, he led 3 times in his career, led the league in hits with over 200 hits, and he was a doubles machine. The guy could just hit for extra base hits. The guy approached it very like a very scientific approach to the plate, and he was always good for a hit. I mean, he wasn't going to get you those great home runs. I mean, yeah, there was one season, I think in 93, where he had 22 home runs, but aside from that, I always thought he was a very, very capable DH. I mean, he broke in actually as a second baseman, moved to short, and then they moved him to third base where he stood for a while. It really wasn't until he went with Toronto in 93 where he became a DH, right? I mean, he probably shouldn't even be on this list if we're talking DHs. But at the same time, you can't take away just how great he was. I mean, if he was DH his entire career, this might be a hot take, but I mean, I think he could get close to 4,000 hits just because.
I can see that.
I think as a DH, it just suited him a lot better, right? Yep. I mean, I got in 96 when he was with Minnesota. I mean, 225 hits that season. And he did that at age 39, Steve. I mean, his final year was within Minnesota in 1998 at 41 years old, and he still got 141 hits in 126 games and hit 281. I think he could have kept going. He could have pulled some Julio Franco.
Oh, for sure.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a guy that doesn't get talked about enough in circles when you're talking about some of the greatest hitters to ever live. They don't mention him in the top 10, but I think it's worth a cup of coffee. I think you to mention him is he's one of the great hitters. So Paul Molitor comes in for me at number 2.
Yeah, well, you glazed him enough for 2. I'm going to glaze him over at 1. He comes in for me at number 1 just because of that time. You said, yeah, he didn't really move to DH full time until 93, and he parlayed that after becoming a full-time DH into leading the league in hits 2 times with over 200 hits, once in 93, and then again in 96, there 225 hits, which was I think a high mark for his entire career there. So, wasn't going to give you the big power, but could get you the 20 home runs. He did, like you said, Mike touched that once, but he was going to hit all over the field. 91 led the league in triples with 13, doubles machine, consistently 30, 40 plus doubles. So he's going to hit to all parts of the field. He's going to hit for at or above average. Just a fantastic hitter. And like you said, you probably could have parlayed it a little bit longer, because that last year, still got 141 hits, 281 average. I think it could have kept going a little bit longer, but just a great hitter, and him and Edgar Martinez. That's why they're 1 and 2, or vice versa here at the top for both of us. It's just because they they could do it in all parts of the field. So Paul Molitor comes in for me at number 1.
Number 1 for me is Steve's number 2. Like Steve said, we're flopping here. Edgar Martinez. I took Edgar just because the high batting average throughout his whole career, and he played DH longer than Molitor played DH. I mean, truly, he broke in as a third baseman. He was actually a very capable third baseman. Not a lot of people think of Edgar Martinez and be like, oh, he was in the field. Yeah, he was. He's actually pretty good, but his bat was so valuable. And with him being overshadowed by Ken Griffey Jr., right, and some of the big, later on, Brett Boone and some of those guys, it was easier for him to kind of sit back and just be like, dude, just do what you're best at, and that's hitting. And that's what he did. And when I say hit for 300, this is a guy that led the league in batting average like a couple years, right? But he was always hitting 320 something, 330 something. His best year was in 95, where he hit 356 in 145 games with 121 runs, league leading, and doubles 52. Very Paul Molitor-esque. Him and Paul Molitor kind of had the same kind of game. I'd say Edgar Martinez obviously had a little bit more power. Edgar Martinez did have 30 home run power. He kind of played out of his mind in 2000 when he hit 37 home runs with 145 ribs, but he was putting a different, with Ken Griffey being gone, he was putting a whole different kind of thing, right?
Yep.
Or I don't know if that was, I can't remember if that was the year that Ken Griffey left, was 2000, but it was around that time.
I think 99 or so it was. Yeah, 99, 2000 was right around the time that Griffey went to the Reds, because then Ichiro came over.
Right, there you go.
Imagine Griffey and Ichiro were on the same team then at that point. That would have been fucking crazy, dude.
And they needed more power out of Edgar, so it's like, okay, I'll do it. And this guy was I wonder. I'm surprised they didn't name him Automatic or Mr. Automatic or Mr. Mechanical, because the guy just took such a mechanical approach to hitting, and every time he got up, he was just a hit. I mean, you just knew it. And I've had the pleasure of speaking with him. I have him in my phone. I mean, I talked to him a few times in my life, and when I was trying to get Sons of Summer off the ground, and he's just a very good human being for sure. But he's on this list because he's one of the best hitters ever. And I mean, I'm surprised he never got 3,000 hits. But I think if, you know what I mean, because he was a DH most of his career, so I'm surprised he never got 3,000 hits, but he was always the 300 hitter, which is incredibly important. So Edgar Martinez, for me, comes in at number 1.
Well, there we go. Now we'll move from the then to the now. Coming in for me at number 5 in the now category is a guy who had finally, I think his best year since he signed that mammoth contract with the Blue Jays, and that's George Springer. Wake up, George Springer! You finally decided to play some baseball. Silver Slugger Award last season, 7th in MVP voting, hit 309. 32 home runs, 84 RBIs, finally showed what he was capable of to get that money, showing, harkening back to what he was doing in Houston. And, it's about fucking time. I mean, he's in his mid twilight of his career here, 35, 36 years old. And hopefully you continue to parlay that if you're, if you're on Lucky Rebel there and looking at the MVP odds, he's probably not high up there on the list, but it's a guy who's getting hitting back. I mean, he hit 220 in 2024 and then improved it by 89 percentage points in 2025. So hopefully he keeps that trajectory up, even though he's hit the twilight of his career. But George Springer, he comes in for me at number 5.
I look at George Springer, and I think at first when he was doing amazing with Houston, everybody thought this is the next Bernie Williams.
Yeah.
And those comps were incredibly accurate. And then as his career went on, it was like, oh, you're probably more of like a Curtis Granderson, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's safe to assume that's kind of where he's at in his career. He's like a Curtis Granderson, which isn't a knock on him. I love Curtis Granderson.
I do too.
I mean, this guy has 30 home run power, right? And would I say his career has been disappointing? I don't know. I mean, I would say this. I don't think his contract was worth what Toronto paid him.
No,
just
not
because,
even close.
No, because when he signed that contract, he was in his early 30s at the time.
Yep.
And you're talking, and I was kind of looking at a guy who they thought, okay, this guy's going to keep going. And it was nice to see that little springboard year last year. But for fantasy baseball players, teams, I would steer clear of George Springer. But
yeah, don't touch him with a 10-foot pole.
But there's not a lot of great DHs. I mean, I'm kind of comparing this to the 90s. I don't think our DHs are, in terms of the overall class, except from the number 1 and 2 guys, I don't think they really hold a candle to what the 90s had in DHs right now. But, for George Springer, I mean, this is as good as it gets. So George Springer is 5.
George Springer, he's as good as it gets. All right,
this is what we're gonna get here, boys.
This is number 4, a guy who, if I recall, probably from our list from last year, was a lot higher on the list. But the injury bug finally caught up to this guy, and that's Yordan Alvarez. He comes in for me at number 4. Only played in 48 games last year, and in that time, though, he did hit 273 with 6 home runs, 27 RBIs. But this is a guy who normally has that 30+ home run power. Can hit over 300 if he has to. I just hope he bounces back, because Houston's going to need him in that lineup there. Every day playing that DH, getting that pop back in that lineup to help chug the lineup along. So, I mean, he's at 4 only because the injury bug bit him. I'm looking at what he did this past season, so I hope he can turn it around this year, because he's fun. He's fun to watch when he's in there every day. So Yordan Alvarez, he comes in for me at number 4.
Number 4 for me, I went with Brent Rooker.
Nice.
He reminds me a lot of Brian Reynolds into his game, but maybe a little bit more pop. It's weird that Brent Rooker found his power at 28 years old. I mean, it was weird because he hit 16 home runs in 21, but he only played 58 games, which that's a lot of power. I mean, you look at that and that's like a lot of power. The average wasn't nothing to shake a stick at. It really wasn't great. But then you fast forward a few years down the road after some injury plagued seasons, and you're like, oh, at 28 years old, he becomes an all-star and he's a 30 home run power guy. Could he hit 40? Who knows? He had 39 home runs in 2024. At 30 years old, he is a leader in that clubhouse for the for the Vegas A's coming up.
Yep.
And he played 162 games, had a pretty good season, 30 home runs, 89 ribs. He's a guy that can get you over 100 RBIs in a season. He's proved he can do that. I like him because he's a solid at-bat. He's a guy that's going to give you the best at-bat when you need it, and he comes through. And the way he swings a bat is, when you have young ball players, look at the way Brent Rooker swings and look at the way he is from when he first started to where he is now. This is a guy that knows how to change his game and mature as a hitter. And he's one of the, I look at him and somebody like Riley Green, who's matured as hitting, where Riley Green was like, I'm going to sell out for power. So he had to change his swing up. He had to change his body type up. Brent Rooker really didn't do that. Brent Rooker just changed his swing up and changed his mechanics up, and it still made him a great hitter. So Brent Rooker, for me, just for on a baseball sense of what truly the position means, comes in for me at number 4.
Well, I like him so much. He comes in for me at number 3, and that's only because, excuse me, Jordan Alvarez, like I said, was injured most of last year. So for longevity purposes, Rooker does come in for me at number 3. I mean, he played the full season, 162 games this past year. Would like to see the strikeouts come down, but they did come down. I mean, he's in the 170s for strikeouts in 23 and 24, got down to 155 this past season, but 30, 40 plus potentially home run power. I think the power is going to continue to stay there. And, basically for everything that Mike said, he's, good discipline, can hit the ball, around the park, not just home runs, but, he's got doubles potential. I mean, he had 40 doubles this past season, 164 hits, scoring the runs, hitting it over the field. The power's there. I think another all-star game or two could be in his future. So Brent Rooker comes in for me at number 3.
Number 3 for me, and I'm just hanging on this guy could be something train. It's Jordan Alvarez. I mean, the jury, durability was a question last year, but for the most of his career, he's been okay. Hasn't been great durability. He's been pretty good, right? If you get over 140 games, you're doing really good. That's mostly, coach's decision that you didn't play every game.
Yep.
He has a lot of power. I mean, remember you and I, when we first started this podcast, we were talking about Jordan Alvarez being a very much like an Albert Pujols type of player.
Yep.
Going to get you to 30 to 40 home runs a season. Going to get you over the 100 RBIs you need. Might not strike out a lot, which is really interesting, right? He'll get you close to 100 strikeouts a season, but for as much as he plays, he doesn't strike out like some of the other hitters, which makes him a very interesting hitter. Because a lot of the guys who have the power and who are as hulking as he is, they're the guys that strike out 150 times a year. I don't know. Jordan Alvarez doesn't seem to do that. So I'm keeping him on my list just because he's still a quality hitter. We'll see how he does with this injury. He's going to be 29 years old. We'll see how he bounces back from injury and if he could be the same player that he was, or does he fade away like Jose Abreu. But Jordan Alvarez, I still think has a lot left in the tank to battle that 1 and 2 spot for DH. So he comes in for me at number 3.
Number 2 for me is a guy who was number 2 in MVP voting last year, and that's Kyle Schwarber. Kyle Schwarber, just to harken back to a couple of years ago, seemed very much like a Joey Gallo, where the guy was either going to hit a home run or he was going to strike out. I mean, he had 200 strikeouts, 215 strikeouts in consecutive years, and 22 and 23. Yeah, the strikeouts are still there, but he's also drawing, getting you the walks and also getting extra base hits to go with the home runs. I mean, yeah, he hit 56 home runs, 132 RBIs last year, which led the league, but he also had 23 doubles. He also had 108 walks. It still hit, 240. I mean, this is a guy who was sub 200 just in 2023. So averages come up, power's still there. Would have liked to see the power a little bit more in the WBC, but hey, I digress. It seemed like everyone took a massive crap in the WBC, but for US. But anyway, Kyle Schwarber, prototypical DH right there, smashing the ball. Yeah, he's going to strike out a fucking lot right there. Hopefully he doesn't hit hopefully he doesn't hit 200 again for strikeouts, but he's gonna get you 140 plus hits to go with those home runs, and just a very mammoth figure there in the box. So Kyle Schwarber comes in for me at number 2.
Number 2 is Kyle Schwarber for me too, for the exact same thing Steve said. He's going to get you the 50 home runs, 40, 50 home runs you need. He's going to get you over the 100 RBIs, maybe 120 RBIs, 110 RBIs plus. I mean, he's going to strike out a lot, but you know that. And that's why he signed the 5-year, $150 million contract. I think that is the most perfect contract for the market value.
Yep.
Like I said, I don't think anybody in sports is worth that many millions. But talking from, if the money's there, this is the value, this is what you're going to pay a player, then okay. Kyle Schwarber fits that mold. 5 years, $150 million. That's roughly what, $30 million a year.
Yep.
So I think that makes the most sense. I think that was one of the smartest contracts I've seen the Phillies do in a long time, and it's exactly what they need because he is a power hitter. He's a guy that is going to drive in runs. He's not the guy that's just going to set the table. No. He's going to drive in runs. And for somebody, Bryce Harper, he hasn't been the same kind of player. So you're going to need a guy who has those quick hands at the plate, and that's Kyle Schwarber. Kyle Schwarber is that guy. He's the mercenary. If you're thinking about it in those terms, he's a mercenary at the plate. That's exactly what he is. He's going to get you a lot of strikeouts, like Steve said. He's not going to be great in the batting average department, right? So he's going to strike out. One or two times out of every 10 times at the plate, he's going to do something.
Yep.
When he does something, it means something, and it's something big. So we'll take that on Lucky Rebel if we're betting those odds any day of the fucking week. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's right.
Schwartz comes in for me in number 2.
And then number 1, it's pretty much this guy. I think we previewed it last week. It's this guy and everybody else at DH. I mean, you're
Eloy
on
Jimenez.
Rebel. Fucking yeah, Eloy Jimenez. I mean, Mr. Brittle Bones himself. But if you're on Lucky Rebel and you're looking at your MVP odds for the National League, it's this guy, head and shoulders above everyone else. I mean, he's the 4 MVPs in the last 5 seasons, 3 MVPs in a row here. Can he go for 4? It's Shohei Ohtani. What else can you say about this guy? He's a generational player. I think we're witnessing something very, very special here with watching Ohtani, and I get nervous. Just don't Mike Trout us here, Shohei. All right, because remember just when you and I were starting the podcast and we were talking about how Mike Trout was a generational player too, and yeah, we were jerking him off with 2 hands.
Yes.
Yeah, two, and he hasn't lived up to that since then. But Shohei Ohtani, I mean, is the guy who last season, average went down a little bit because he started pitching again. But you know what? The average didn't go down too badly. It's 282, 55 home runs, 102 RBIs. He parlayed that off his MVP season of the year before that with 54 home runs, 130 RBIs. But he led the league in slugging percentage, led the league in OPS, led the league in OPS plus. This guy is just like I said, a generational talent. I mean, led the league in run score with 146, 172 hits on the season. This past year, he's going to get you the doubles, 25 doubles, can even get you triples. He had 9 triples last year. Just unbelievable talent, and he can fucking pitch too.
Yeah.
So,
and he can pitch.
and he can pitch too. This guy's amazing. All right, now that I'm done jerking him off with 2.5 hands, Shohei Ohtani comes in for me at number 1.
All right. Well, while your hands cramp, I'll start. I'll start with my 2-hander.
Oh, it's all.
Let me jump in here. You jump in on that.
All right. Finish them off.
Baseball's first 50-50 player.
Yep.
It just we understand how amazing he is. Early on in his career, I had my doubts. Right.
Yep.
I am a big 2-way player guy. And I always wanted baseball to have one of these kind of players. He is most successful at this since Babe Ruth, maybe. And maybe Babe Ruth in the early days before they're like, scrap the pitching, we'll just worry about hitting.
Right, just let him hit.
Shohei can do it, but he's not as good of a pitcher as he is a hitter. So that's why the older he gets, the less he'll pitch, the more he'll be at the plate. Hence why it's smart that any team he's been on, he's a DH. I mean, you don't want this guy playing in the field. But if he could be in the field, he'd be an amazing fielder too. I mean, fuck, if I were him, I'd be like, dude, I want a gold glove. Like, put me out somewhere. Yeah. You imagine having those, like, on top of everything else he has?
Oh, my God. Yeah.
I mean, he's that kind of player. He's always been that kind of player. And it's really hard to put anybody else in this position as number one in DH. He's going to hold this as long as he plays, right? Because he's just that guy. His injuries came when he first started baseball, and then after that, he's been nothing short of amazing. So, Ohtani clearly unanimously number one, finished
and explodes. All right.
Scene, yeah.
Well, that's our then and now series, man. It's it felt like it flew by, but next week we'll be doing our preview show and getting knuckles deep into the baseball season here. So that was fun.
Yeah, I think you do NL next year, or this year I do AL.
All right, you know what? Just give everything to the Dodgers here. Spoiler alert: Dodgers win everything. All right, next.
Yeah. Let's not reinvent the wheel, man. Just
pretty much.
Let's just go.
If I want to look credible here, and try and get some stuff correct, I might as well just pick the Dodgers for everything. We'll call it a day.
Right? Yeah. I'm gonna steer clear of those fucking wild picks where it's like, oh, the Baltimore Orioles will make the World Series. Although I didn't see the Blue Jays coming. I don't think anybody's seen that coming.
No one saw and no one saw. I don't think we saw Seattle doing what they were doing last year either. So.
No.
Those wild ones can come in, but with that, shall we head on over to Collection Corner?
Let's do it.
All right. Yeah. Ready to ride the next big hobby wave? Market Movers puts the entire sport card and TCG market right in your hands. With pricing on over 7 million cards powered by real sales data from every major marketplace, including eBay, Fanatics Collect, Golden, Heritage, and more. Track your collection on mobile or desktop and instantly see value and P&L by sport, year, player, set, or grade. Compare any cards side by side, monitor live price swings to spot trends early, uncover underpriced deals, and set custom alerts so you never miss a move. With Market Movers, you turn market data into smarter buys, bigger profits, and a stronger collection. Sign up today and try it risk-free for 14 days. And get 20% off for life with promo code GONE20 at marketmoversapp.com. And a special bonus. In April, we're giving away a hobby box of 2025 Topps Stadium Club. To enter, sign up using promo code GONE20. We'll compile entries from the end of February through the beginning of April and announce the winner during our April Hobby Huddle segment. Market Movers. Make every card count. Man, I love Market Movers. Wait, you left? No. All of a sudden I look and you're just not there. I'm like, oh, I'm talking to myself now. Huh? All right, well, I'll talk about Market Movers with myself then. It's it's good. I'm loving the Market Movers. I keep adding cards. I don't know about you, Mike, but this past weekend I had a little time on my hands, so I started sorting my the studio I almost said Studio 28, the Stadium Club cards, because I got that mega box and a couple of fat packs. So I started sorting my Stadium Club cards and getting them in the binder and getting those cards into the Market Movers app and seeing what they're doing. So great app, very user friendly, easy to use. You can put your categories on there. If you're like me, I collect baseball and basketball cards. So you can put your different categories so you can look at your different collections that way. So great, Market Movers, great people, great app. Use promo code GONE20 for 20% off the lifetime of your membership. Just head to marketmovers.com/longgone.
Absolutely.
Well, I think you're going to get my card, Mike. It's I was on the Market Movers app here for the show looking to see what I was going to do. And I pretty much could just say this guy's nickname if we were pressed for time and call it a day, but I won't do that. I think he's arguably, you and I talk about him, probably the greatest, one of the, if not the greatest player of all time when it comes to baseball. He began his career actually in the Negro Leagues. He was in the Negro minor league team called the Chattanooga Choo-Choos. Mm-hmm. And then later that year, he played for the Birmingham Black Barons of the Negro American League before, he took off and went to the New York Giants. And, he did pretty good there. He parlayed that career into a 24-time All-Star, World Series champion, an MVP twice. He did win Rookie of the Year his first year in 1951. He won 12 Gold Glove awards. He won the Roberto Clemente Award in 1971. He was a batting champion once, too, in 1954. Led the league in home runs 4 times. Led the league in stolen bases 4 times. He had a 4 home run game in 1961. Career totals on him is a 301 career batting average, 3,293 hits, 660 home runs, 1,909 runs batted in. And, he's the say hey kid. Mike?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, one of my favorite players of all time. Maybe, probably my favorite player of all time, Willie Mays.
Nope, it's Eloy Jimenez. No, it is Willie Mays. Yeah. And the card I went, I was on my Market Movers app here, and I went with this 1962 Topps All-Star card, which is climbing in value. Currently recently sold for as high as $50 on recent comps for it. So cool looking card. I love those 62 Topps cards with that wood paneling type background. So yeah, Willie Mays. That was my card.
Yeah, if Eloy Jimenez has Willie Mays' thing, it'd be that say ouch kid.
The say ouch. The say ouch. I broke another. The broken bone kid is great.
The broken bone kid. Wah, wah.
Old glass bones. All right.
Say ouch.
Say ouch. Oh God. The IL kid is great.
The IL kid. Oh, dude. Oh yeah. Look at Eli.
Boy.
Look at him get just fucking taking strays.
Oh, gee. He's like, I don't even listen to your show. What happened?
Yeah. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Taking
Sorry,
strays.
Eloy.
For mine, Steve, I chose a legend as well. Maybe one of the best baseball players of all time.
God, you didn't go with Willie Mays too, did you?
No. But I am waiting for the day we both pick the same player. I'm
it's
actually
gonna happen
hoping
one
it
of these
happens.
times. It's gonna happen.
Hope it happens.
Oh my gosh, it's gotta happen soon.
I too could name the guy's nickname and you'd get it. So
okay,
but let me do a little foreplay here before
a little foreplay. I don't know if we can handle that. I need to get some Gatorade after we jacked off Shohei.
Yeah, no shit, dude. Yeah. Oh, Tony's listening to this. He's probably like, man, awesome.
I like these guys. Yeah.
Yeah, these guys. They're my next. Yeah, they're my next Ipe or whatever the hell my
oh God.
offer was. All right, my guy here, lifetime average of 303, 1,314 RBIs. OPS is 784, which doesn't get talked about enough. Wasn't the greatest home run hitter ever. Now here comes the stuff they probably going to do. He started out with a crew cut, then got a bowl cut. He is the all-time hits leader with 4,256 hits. MVP, 3-time World Series winner, 17-time All-Star, 2-time Gold Glove winner, World Series MVP, 3-time batting title. It's a shame this dude is not in the Hall of Fame. Steve, who am I talking about?
He says you look like Pete Rose.
I saw that episode of King of Queens a couple days ago, and I could not stop laughing, dude.
Spill his show tunes. He says you look like Pete Rose.
Oh, man. Yeah, okay, so if you ever, anybody listening, like Steve and I, we quote King of Queens all the time. I have a few friends that do the same thing. They'll like throw King of Queens quotes because it's such a funny show, but there's one where Carrie got this haircut, and she looked just like
the bowl cut.
The bowl cut. And then they ran into Robert Goulet on this cruise ship, which is fucking hilarious. And they're both, he's like, that's some haircut. and then they were laughing about her. And he goes, you guys making fun of my hair? And I was like,
no.
Don't show tunes. He says, you look like Pete Rose. Now, a little backstory here. I actually watched Charlie Hustle, the documentary. I finally got around to watching it. Came out last year. I sat down to watch it last week, and it took me a couple weeks, but I came up. It was an interesting documentary. It was really sad because they made it before he died, and they don't even mention that he died in it. So which is funny. They want to update it, which is hilarious.
Yeah.
But one thing I'll say about Pete Rose, like, yes, he bet on baseball. No, he never bet against his team, which the facts are there, right? I mean, the facts are there. I ain't going to go on this whole tirade of getting him in the Hall of Fame, but I will say with gambling, today and everything that's going on with gambling, it's like he probably just should be in because you didn't show how he cheated baseball. He bet on baseball, but he never cheated.
He bet on his team. Yeah,
exactly. And he did it. Like there's in the documentary tries to make a case, Steve. They're like, well, he was manager. Remember, he was a player manager in the late 80s where he could have manipulated, and they took a few for instances, but they were so weak. Like they said, he pulled this one pitcher that was having a great start in for another pitcher who ended up giving up the game or something like that. And then you look and you're like, oh, well, this pitcher actually had an injury history. So that's why he was being careful with this pitcher. But they didn't mention that. And, so I'm like, I'm fucking Googling it right away and stuff. Pete Rose's own worst enemy was Pete Rose. Pete Rose never said sorry for the longest time. Finally did. Pete Rose tried to stay in the headlines. Pete Rose had a big mouth. Pete Rose was rude. Pete Rose was very arrogant. Pete Rose threw others under the bus when the whole gambling thing went down. It was a really good documentary. And Pete signed off on it because obviously he's in it and it follows his
money,
life.
Right?
Right. And to wrap this up, at the end of it, he should just be I look at that, I'm like, okay, he was an asshole. Who in the Hall of Fame is not an asshole? There's a lot of assholes in the Hall of Fame. And you couldn't prove that he cheated on baseball. So,
right.
Put
him in.
The fact that he's not in is just travesty. Just sucks. So anyways, stating that, you got it right. I picked my market mover. I went Market Movers app. A card I have is, and it's not in great condition, so it's not as pricey as the good ones, the perfect, the mint. There's 1969 Topps Pete Rose, number 120. The PSA 8 of that card, goes anywhere from, your lower tier ones could be $40, right? Your higher tier ones that are graded mint are like $500. Last one sold for like $140. Those are, they're moving, dude. And after that doc, I seen it spike. Like you see, like when the doc came out last year. And then I kind of lined it up with Markham Movers, like, oh, there's some spikes here, which is really interesting. So I don't know if that tells you how fragile the market is, because then it goes down a little bit. So
and
it's
then
down
he
right
died.
now, 6.9%. Yeah.
I was gonna say, then he died. It probably went back up, and then people forgot that he died, and it went back down.
The baseball card market's very fragile. So take it with what you will. But that is my Market Movers pick of the week.
Nice. With that, shall we get the candles out and celebrate a birthday?
Let's do it.
All right. Well, I'm gonna love this, Mike. It's another one of our favorite Veterans Committee guys. It's a looking on eBay for some comps for this guy's card here. One of my favorites for him would be his 1957 Topps number 70, and that's none other than a Richie Ashburn. Hey. It's a heavenly birthday to Phillies great and Hall of Famer Richie Ashburn, born on March the 19th of 1927. He checks one of the boxes, 308 career batting average, 2,574 hits, 29 home runs, 586 runs batted in. Spent a majority of his career with the Philadelphia Phillies from 1948 to 1959, then went to the Cubs 1960, 1961, and then the Mets in 1962. He was a 6-time All-Star, 2-time NL batting champion, 1-time NL stolen base leader. Philadelphia Phillies number 1 is retired. Philadelphia Phillies Wall of Fame. Makes sense. Great Phillies player. Instead, 1995, he was elected by the Veterans Committee. I don't know how he got in. All right.
We gotta have a
Probably
tally.
because he was a good defensive player, which hence is my trivia right here. His 5,803 career putouts ranks third among center fielders in Major League Baseball history, behind Willie Mays, who we talked about earlier, and Tris Speaker. So he played defense. Put him in.
I looked him up, so I Googled him while you were talking, and he had 3 nicknames: Putt Putt, the Tilden Flash, because he's from Tilden, Nebraska, and then Whitey.
We called him Whitey.
His white wand is, hey, Whitey!
Hey, Whitey! Oh, God. It's a great nickname. All right. So, yeah, happy birthday to Richie Ashburn.
Happy birthday, Whitey, son of a bitch.
Happy birthday, Whitey. All right.
Bastard.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, good job. But, man, freaking Veterans Committee.
Told you, man. Probably they were coming off the strike here there, so they probably had to be like, I got to get someone in. But Ashburn, he's good, right? Yeah, yep. All right, cool.
So just to kind of, like, So Veterans Committee's no more, right? They're called the Eras Committee?
Right. Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
And it's made up. I think the committee changes. It's made up now like former players and stuff like that. And then varies on the year, the decade or
Yeah.
so that they look at now or something. So
Interesting.
whatever. Yeah. It all sucks. Let's be honest.
Well, I guess that's a fucking show.
Whew, good show, man.
Yeah.
Nice little ramp up to our preview show coming up next week. You and I have our draft. I had to push our draft back by about an hour or so because I'm coming home from Detroit on Saturday. I noticed that when I was making plans with my mom, and I was like, 8:00's cutting it a little bit. I'm gonna push it to like 9:15, 9:30. That way it gives me a little more time. But yeah, I've got our draft. I've done a couple of mocks. I was mocking it up while watching the WBC the other night. So I think I'm ready. We'll see.
Yeah, I'm ready too. I have specific players that I'd target, but I can't wait. I mean, it's a redemption year for me. So
it is, man. You're on your revenge tour, so to speak, here after an unorthodox down year for you. So
yeah, it was a crazy down year, but fantasy baseball is always fun, and it should be definitely a fun year looking forward. And then next week's show, obviously, with our prediction show, kind of kicks off the season. Really, kind of kicks off the season because we're dealing with then and now. We're going to be talking to fans of certain teams to kind of give us their previews throughout the weeks. So that should be fun. We got a lot, man. We're always got shit going on.
We do. I'm excited.
Absolutely. But in the meantime, guys, have a great week. Enjoy this little lull until we hit opening day coming up. So
coming up,
enjoy.
You know it.
Yeah. Have a great week, guys. Catch y'all next week.
Deuces.